Don't touch that dial. You're not on a TV station in Atlanta getting an ad for Bill Elliott Ford. You're at Louisville Motor Speedway, and it's time for Let's Go Racing once again. Hi again, everyone. I'm Scott Douglas, Frank Scott, as always, to call the play-by-play action here at the nation's finest short track. But the reason we start here in front of a van that if you've got a few extra pennies, we'll sell you today, Frank. But this is a beautiful van. It's the new Bill Elliott Custom Series, and I think they're going to be available for a few dollars more all over the country. But the NASCAR Champions van is up here from his dealership in Georgia.
Well, you know, Bill Elliott's been leading a lot of races. He's been winning a lot of races, and Ford Motor Company thought that they could no longer get all the money in the Thunderbird, so they built him a special van just to haul all the money around in.
But indeed, you can get one of these. I'll tell you about it, I guess, at a Ford dealer, or find a way to get it to you. But they brought it up here, part of Ford Employees Fan Appreciation Night last weekend at Louisville Motor Speedway. Before we get to the highlights, right up front, Frankie, for the fans who are ready to come out for Ken Towery Fan Appreciation Friday, this Friday they get 2 for 1, really.
Sorry about that, race fans. We were rained out last Friday evening. The weather just looked terrible early on in the afternoon, so the Ken Towery Fan Appreciation Night was postponed for last Friday evening. It will come tomorrow night here at Louisville Motor Speedway. It's Fan Appreciation Night plus Season Championship Night for the Stroh's Figure 8 division. Running along with them, the Rookie Bombers and the Martin Landscaping Sportsman division. So you actually get 2 nights in one.
And tomorrow, if you drop by Ken Towery now, they still have some adult tickets, general admission tickets, for $6, and that's $2 off tomorrow night's price. They'll be on sale tomorrow at Ken Towery.
What a way to save money. See the season championship races. In a moment, we'll get to those point standings that will be decided. And then Fan Appreciation Night on top of all that. Ken Towery will be giving away T-shirts, ball caps, radio-controlled toys, balloons for the kids. In addition to that, many other sponsors here at Louisville Motor Speedway will be giving away some great prizes as well.
There was some great action here Saturday night on Ford Fan Appreciation Night. We'll take a look at that, see the finals of the Independent Industries race. Look at one of the most unique individuals we've had here all year. Doug Domokos, the Wheelie King. We'll show you his act and a lot more. It's all coming up. Stay with us here on Channel 21. Louisville Motor Speedway brings in fall with a red-hot weekend of action. It's season championship weekend, Friday and Saturday night. Come on out to Louisville Motor Speedway this Friday as Ken Towery Auto Care Centers bring you season championships for the wild Figure 8 plus the Sportsman and the Rookie Bombers. Then Saturday, Roadrunner Video Clubs presents the season championships for the super fast Winston Bush late models plus the mini stocks and oval bombers. A fantastic weekend of the best racing action with extra live features Friday and Saturday at Louisville Motor Speedway.
And the action got started last Saturday evening at Louisville Motor Speedway on Ford Fan Appreciation Night with the Winston Bush late models. Collecting the win in the 4-lap Diet Coke Trophy Dash was Scott Walters for Roadrunner Video Clubs, driving an IROC Z28 Camaro. Taking a look now at action from the first 10-lap heat race event, and that's Leonard Blanchard Jr., a second-generation driver, driving the Blanchard's Auto Service Ford Thunderbird Super Coupe to his first victory ever at Louisville Motor Speedway. Once again, that's in the first 10-lap heat race event. Collecting the win in the second 10-lap heat race event from Jeffersonville, Indiana, and sponsored by Charlie's Seafood Restaurant and Lounge, as well as Budget Rent-A-Car and Truck, and driving another Ford Thunderbird Super Coupe, Steve Webb. The third heat race, and we're checking out action from this event now, was won by car number 69 in your picture, and that's Bill Kimmel Jr., sponsored by John Jones GM City, driving an IROC Z28 Camaro. And later on, a 15-lap semi-feature event was won by Joe Williamson Jr., sponsored by Able Auto Parts, as well as Doug Kroger's Racing Engines and Jim Williamson Service Center and Pipe Fitters Local 522. Taking a look now at action from the Gatorade Mini Stock Division. They had 5 heat races last Saturday evening. Let's check out those winners. The 5th heat race won by Rick Harris for Short-Eyed Mechanical. The 4th heat race won by Scotty Earl, driving the Volkswagen Rabbit, and sponsored by Sam Storall, ABC Neon and Sign Company, and Robert Hobart Trucking Company. The 3rd heat race won by John Horning for Chi-Chi's Mexican Restaurants, driving a Datsun to victory. The 2nd heat race was won by Scott Greer of Owensboro, Kentucky for Hardy Brake and Electric. And it was George Koch, seen here collecting the win for Medley's Auto Truck Alignment. Also going into action last Saturday evening, the feature event for the Independent Industries Celebrity Challenge Race. Drivers that have bought rides and representing different industries around Louisville. Into turns 1 and 2, it's car number 99 out front, John Martin of Charlestown, Indiana, representing Martin Landscaping. Up to second comes car number 27, Danny Hollaway. And then this altercation, we'll call this the WAMZ wreck here. Dave Lee involved in car number 340, the 191 of Bobby Jack Murphy. And then sidelining the number X5 of Billy Holloway and the 92 of Terry Stilger. Early on in the event, the lead battle developed between car number 99, John Martin, and then around the outside comes car number 27, Daniel Holloway, representing Holloway Ready Mix and Aggregates. Martin spins up in turn number 4, and the new leader is Daniel Holloway. And out front is car number 27, Daniel Holloway, who goes on to collect the win for Holloway Ready Mix and Aggregates. Crossing the line at second, a little sideways, the car number 340, Dave Lee, representing Roadrunner Video Clubs. And then finishing up at third, radio personality Bobby Jack Murphy, driving the car number 191 for Independent Industries. Also going into action last Saturday evening at Louisville Motor Speedway, the Gatorade Oval Bombers. Believe it or not, this division is just growing and growing. We had 7 10-lap heat races for this division. It was Freddie Holbert Jr. for Toy Tiger, Barn Lounge collecting the win in the 7th heat race. The 6th heat race won by Ricky Brooks for Chumley's Wrecker Service, as well as Stooges Barn Lounge. The 5th heat race, Indiana's Scott Heineman for Bargain Supply Company. Steve Miles collecting the win for Pro Belt Fords in the 4th heat race. The 3rd heat race won by Mike Emerson for Emerson Masonry. The 2nd heat race won by Louisville, Kentucky's Fred Greenwell. And seeing some action here, Scott Toohey collecting the win in the first 10-lap heat race event. Scott Douglas will be back right after this commercial break with the winner of that heat race, Scott Toohey, and the current point leader of the Bomber Division.
Over the next couple of nights here at Louisville Motor Speedway, we're going to be crowning 5 new season champions. And really, going into this weekend, we're only absolutely positive of one. Looks Chuck Winders is going to take the Winston Bush late model title. But we know in the Gatorade Bomber Division, we may be crowning a rookie as champion, something very unique. And it would be this man, Scott Toohey. First of all, Scott, coming into this final racing of the season, and I know I'm asking you to go back and maybe rethink some things that I don't know if you thought about at the time, but did you think when you started running Bombers that you had a chance to win a championship? Because there are a lot of guys with a lot of experience in this division.
Well, Scott, I didn't really think I had a chance to win a championship. We come out where everybody, you know, we're working with late models and everything, and we come into this and we really got off on a good foot first night, and things have been going real well for us all year long. But like I say, all the crew and everybody, they just work hard every week. That's what we've done all year long, and here we are.
You know, you really did come, and I think you ran a rookie race or two and started working your way up.
Well, I started out on a Saturday night. It was the first night I started, and I won the heat and the feature first night out, and then they put us right in the A feature. And we've been there all year.
And from there, it's been a matter of kind of tracking Chumley, and then you were able to catch James Chumley about a month ago. And frankly, over the last couple of months, it's looked like you've had the superior car out here, don't you think?
Yeah, well, we've been trying all year long to catch James, and we finally got around him. You know, a lot of hard work, and now we seem to be where we want to be. Let's hope we can stay there for 2 more weeks.
You know, it is. We talk about the championship. I was thinking, I guess a couple of months ago, your whole goal seemed to be winning Rookie of the Year, and now it's to take them both.
Now I want them both. I ain't gonna quit.
How about your crew? And obviously there's a lot of people involved. Let's give some people some plugs here who've helped you out in some of your sponsorship.
Well, all my crew and everybody, they all work real hard, you know, to keep the car up. But my sponsors, Bluegrass Awning, my dad, and Taylor's House of Colors really helped me out a lot this year. Plus Ultimate Tan and everybody, you know, they just all been a tremendous help.
You obviously are no newcomer to racing, so let's educate a few of the folks. First of all, your dad was in racing a long time, and give us a little bit of that background, and also then the fact of your connection with Larry and some of the other things you've done.
Well, you know, I helped my dad back when I was a kid. I started helping him when I was 10 years old, and then he quit racing. I started helping Larry, and I helped Larry for 7 years, and he won a bunch of races, and, you know, it really got good for us there for a while, winning a bunch of races, and then I finally got a chance to get my own car, and I really, you know, everybody was game for it. Now we're looking forward to next year for a sportsman ride.
I was going to get to that point then. Is this just the first step and you try and move up every year?
I'm going to try to move up every year as I go, but it's hard to say.
Well, obviously, good luck the rest of the way, and you know there's going to be some banging that last week, double points on the line, and I guess all you can do is go out and give it your best shot.
I'm going to give it my best just like I have every week since I started. The banging's done started. They done started beating on me.
Scott Toohey getting ready for a big Saturday night. We'll see if he can win the championship tomorrow. A part of Saturday night's Ford Fan Appreciation ceremonies included a special appearance by the nationally famous Doug Domokos, the Wheelie King, doing his thing first on a motorcycle along the front straightaway. Then Domokos wowed the crowd with his specially enclosed three-wheeler, doing head-over-heels wheelies. Watch him here as he comes and turns it end over end. 5 revolutions this time as Doug Domokos, the Wheelie King, put on a show with the three-wheelers. And certainly his trickiest feat as far as balance goes is this, climbing 2 guide wires with a three-wheeler. Of course, with 3 wheels and 2 wires, something has to give. He has to hold it in a wheelie position and then work his way all the way up. Domokos has done this stunt all over the country, and it's certainly one that wows crowds just about everywhere. You think about the high wire acts in the circus, well, certainly Doug Domokos has his own high wire act, and he performed it high above the intersection Saturday night at Louisville Motor Speedway. A Californian nationally known for his wheeling exploits, the Wheelie King, Doug Domokos, put on quite a show this past Saturday at Louisville Motor Speedway.
Before we go to feature event action from Louisville Motor Speedway, we'd like to remind you the discount tickets are still available at Ken Tyree's Auto Care Centers, and you can visit any of the 6 locations in Kentuckiana tomorrow and pick up the discount ticket for Fan Appreciation Night tomorrow night at Louisville Motor Speedway. Now taking a look at feature event action from the Winston Bush late models and Louisville, Kentucky's Buddy Fannin driving car number 77. The Kentucky Engine Rebuilders, Marshall's Auto Parts IROC Camaro, inside pole position, takes on Iroquois Park, Kentucky's Larry Metters as they move into turns 3 and 4. But Fannin gets a little bit loose, and perhaps the move of the race was right here. The number 11 of Joe Williamson Sr., the Bachmann Chevrolet Pipefitters 522, and Doug Kroger's Racing Engines IROC takes the lead in the early portions of the contest. In the early portions of this event, it was very apparent that the outside groove wasn't working as Larry Metters, who was stuck along the outside, first of all, Buddy Fannin, and then the number 5 of Scott Walters gets by, and then the number 8 of Chuck Winters as they move into turns 1 and 2. Inside the first 10 laps of the contest, the battle for 4th place developed between Chuck Winters, seen here, car number 8, the Custom Concepts McDonald's Restaurants IROC, along the inside of the Roadrunner Video Club's IROC Camaro, driven by Scott Walters. And it's Winters, once again, making the inside groove of the portion of the racetrack work well in the early portions of the contest. The first caution flag of the event was seen when LaGrange, Kentucky's David Cornett stalled his Pontiac Grand Prix in the 4th turn area of the racetrack, and the race had to be restarted. As the race got back underway, it was Joe Williamson Sr. on the inside. On the outside was the number 28, Frank Kimmel of Clarksville, Indiana, in his JDC Cable Television Company racing Pontiac Trans Am, the ride also sponsored by the College Shop. But once again, the outside groove was not the place to be as Kimmel scoots up the 12-degree banking, and Pleasure Ridge Park, Kentucky's Chuck Winters gets under him, bringing along Scott Walters. Besides the racing for the top 5 positions, running at 6th and 7th is car number 100 Keith Storms and car number 20 Preston Ford. Storm sponsored by Derby City Core Supply, Engine Parts Warehouse, and Stebbins Auto Parts, and the number 20, the Coyle Chevrolet IROC Z28, driven by Preston Ford, both former Fairgrounds Motor Speedway track champions. Also running well in the lineup, the 69 of Bill Kimmel Jr. and the number 53 of Joe Williamson Jr. Later in the contest, it was Ronnie Page blowing the engine in his auto body of Louisville IROC Z28 Camaro, taking the 99 of Larry Clyer and the 77 of Buddy Fannin, as well as the 66 of Lenny LeGrand involved in the altercation, and it brings out the second caution flag period. No one injured in this altercation, but the race had to be restarted once again. As the race gets the green flag once again, it's car number 11, Joe Williamson Sr., starting up once again as the leader on the inside pole position. But then the number 8 of Chuck Winters comes on strong, coming off turn number 2 as they work into turns 3 and 4 now, and they're side by side out of turn number 4. And then the number 11 of Joe Williamson Sr. comes on, going into turns 1 and 2, and is able to turn back the current point leader of the Winston Bush late model division, car number 8, Chuck Winters. Now, we said earlier the outside groove isn't where you want to be, and Scott Walters moves up along the inside of car number 8, Chuck Winters, and takes over the number 2 position. But suddenly the yellow flag came out on Joe Williamson Sr. as he was leading the race, and his son, Joe Williamson Jr., was the victim of the caution flag period as he tore up the IROC Z28 over in turn number 3. The race had to be restarted again. As the race gets the green flag once again, the number 11 of Joe Williamson Sr. goes back out front. And again, the outside groove wasn't where you want to be at. And the number 8 of Chuck Winder scoots along the inside of Scott Walters to take over second place. And that's pretty much the way the position stayed throughout the remainder of the contest, as Joe Williamson Sr. of Shively, Kentucky, a former NHRA drag racer and UMP dirt racing champion, collects his first feature win of the 1989 racing season. And Joe Williamson Sr. is sponsored by Bachman Chevrolet, as well as Pipe Fitters Local 522, Doug Kroger's Racing Engines, and Naval Auto Parts. Going to action now in the mini stock feature event action, and it's Buster Hammond nearly colliding with the two guys racing for the lead. Larry Lathan, the driver of car number 3 out of Camp Taylor, Kentucky, and Crescent Hill, Kentucky's car number 43, Marshall Jaggers. It was Jaggers, though, who took the lead moving into turns 3 and 4. Larry Lathan drops back to second. By the time the race was over, it got a little worse than that. Lathan finishes up at third. It's Marshall Jaggers, though, who goes on to collect the win for Right Way Grinding Saw and Tool, Premier Electric Company, and Dixie Dry Cleaners. Taking a look at the 44, that's Gary Martin. He moves up, takes over second place, and that's where he finishes. The number 3 of Larry Lathan goes third. The B feature was won by Bobby Jones for B&R Tires Incorporated, and the C feature was won by Rick Harris in his Chardin Mechanical Special. Taking a look now at action from the Gatorade Oval Bomber Division, which included 4 feature events last Saturday evening. It was Freddie Holbert Jr. collecting the win, driving the Toy Tiger Special in the 4th feature event. The C feature was won by Robbie Bachman for Eastview Auto Parts. Gary Druck collecting the win in the B feature for Bobby's Auto Service. And taking a look now at one of the final laps of the A feature for the top point getters in this division. And Louisville, Kentucky's Dean Donahoe gets around Danny Stahl and goes on to collect his first A feature win for the Gatorade Oval Bomber Division. We're about ready to take another commercial break, but when we come back, Scott Douglas caught up with Chuck Winders, something not a lot of people have done this season at Louisville Motor Speedway, and Chuck's the current point leader going into the final night of competition for the Winston Bush late models.
Louisville Motor Speedway brings in fall with a red-hot weekend of action. It's season championship weekend, Friday and Saturday night. Come on out to Louisville Motor Speedway this Friday as Ken Towery Auto Care Centers bring you season championships for the Wild, Figure 8, plus the Sportsman and the Rookie Bombers. Then Saturday, Roadrunner Video Clubs presents the season championships for the super fast Winston Bush late models, plus the mini stocks and oval bombers. A fantastic weekend of the best racing action with extra live features Friday and Saturday at Louisville Motor Speedway. Back to the action in just a moment, but wanted to take one more second to talk to a guy and to offer some congratulations. And of course, he'll be out here running this weekend to lock up a season championship at Louisville Motor Speedway. But Chuck, what we wanted to talk to you about was finishing the top 10 in the region. The official standings will be out in a week or two, but there's no doubt that you're going to be in the top 5. You get an invitation to Nashville, the National Champions Banquet, and pick up a pretty good check from the Point Fund. Congratulations.
Thank you, Scott. At the first year, we didn't think it was possible the way the competition was here at this racetrack. And then, of course, the end of June, we started running in Owensboro on Sundays. Then we started doing good down there when we started with that win at Kentucky Asphalt Championship. And everything just kind of fell into place for us and got us into the top 10.
Chuck, you know, you're a guy who's been in a lot of different sports and has put out a lot of effort and a lot of things, and you've always, it seemed like, been able to be successful, and I know you were going to stop at nothing short of being successful in this race car.
Well, it's took me 7 years. We haven't won a championship yet. We're awful close to it. If we can get through the night in good shape, I think, you know, we'll have it. But there's been so much work and effort put in on this car, which, like I told you the first year, this car started back in November. And that's when we started eyeing everything up for this year. And then we went to the banquet last year, seen Billy Webb get all the honors up there, and we were kind of the bridesmaid last year by running second. So we had a lot of incentive to really go for it this year.
In other words, January 20th is another day you're going to look forward to this year's banquet, because obviously, as you say, if everything goes well and you can wrap it up, carrying that big lead in. Let's talk about a couple other things real quick. One of them being the region. It's got to feel good knowing the competition here, and not to knock anybody else, but Larry Phillips is going to win this region, won 23 of 27 races. Nobody around here could do anything close to that with this kind of competition, fighting for a spot every night.
Well, I don't want to take anything away from him because I don't know the guy. I've never seen him race. But I don't believe anybody's going to come in here and win 23 out of 27 races.
And obviously, you were able to get several wins, get down to Whitesville, and that's what it takes, running both tracks the way NASCAR is set up. It's been successful, and I know it's been a good team effort. Todd and Mickey done a great job helping you out.
They have all the way back from the sponsors that I've got on my car. I feel like I've got all first-class people. Sponsors on the car, that is, and I've got a good chassis. I got great engines from up Auburndale. McDonald's has helped me, Craig and Landreth, Custom Concepts, Sonny's Body Shop. I just got a great team.
And it's been a team that's had a great 1989, and a good luck the last couple of weeks because there's still some great racing yet to go.
Some real tough racing yet.
That's Chuck Winders. Time now to honor the top performance of the previous week's action at Louisville Motor Speedway, thanks to Oscar Mayer with the Oscar Mayer Top Dog. And this week, the honor of Oscar Mayer Top Dog of the Week goes to Joe Williamson Sr. Big Joe piloted his number 11 late model stock car, the Kroger's Automotive Pipefitters Local 522 sponsored machine, to his first feature victory of the year. The top regional contender from a year ago has struggled some this year, but was running up front this past week. And for a feature victory, honored as the Oscar Mayer Top Dog of the Week, Joe Williamson Sr. Well, another of the Bill Elliott Ford Championship Series vehicles. This one kind of resembles the Super Coupe that Bill drives on the NASCAR Winston Cup circuit that they were able to get up from Bill's dealership as part of Ford Fan Appreciation Weekend. And, hey, what's the sticker on this? It's just 16722, so, you know, not a bad buy here, right?
Probably would just barely buy the engine in Bill Elliott's Ford Thunderbird.
You're right on that, but look for these. These are absolutely beautiful vehicles, and we were thrilled to have them, and the fans really enjoyed getting a look at them here this past weekend. Well, coming up this next weekend, tomorrow night, Saturday night, season championship, and Frank, I can never remember having championships up in the air in 4 divisions, and we've got 4 divisions still undecided.
I can't either, Scott, and I've been around Kentuckiana longer than you have. You've been down around Owensboro for the past few years, but anyway, no, I can't remember a season championship weekend coming down the way it is. Of course, the late models look pretty much decided, but in the other divisions, and you'll check out tomorrow night here at Louisville Motor Speedway, Friday night, the Strohs Figure 8 division, Danny Blackwell and Buck Skaggs. Not very many points separating those drivers, and it will be decided tomorrow night here at Louisville Motor Speedway. You want to take a look at the Martin Landscaping Sportsman division. Sammy Price has had the lead all season long, all summer long here, but Jim Bartley is right there in the point standings as well. That will be decided tomorrow night, and both the feature events for the Figure 8 division as well as the Sportsman division will be very, very critical in the point standings. Now you want to take a look at Saturday night here at Louisville Motor Speedway. And of course, we discussed that the late model division is pretty much decided, but we don't know who's going to finish second. Going into this night's competition tonight, Scott Walters along with Keith Gardner both tied for second place in the point standings. So the big question is not who will the season champion be, but who will finish second. There's a lot of Winston Bush late model money up for grabs for that second place position as well. Not to take anything away from the region, we had 2 drivers that are going to Nashville, Tennessee for the region. Scott, you know a little bit more information about that.
It looks like when they post them final, Chuck Winders and Frank Kimmel will be in the top 10 and going to the National Champions Banquet. A great honor. By the way, Kimmel is still in the fight for second as well. And then also Saturday night, we'll decide the championship in the mini stocks and the bombers. The bombers, obviously, there's still 2 guys can get it, but what about that mini stock fight?
3 guys could wind up the track champion in the Gatorade mini stock division. First of all, George Croak, who's been incredible this past month and a half here at Louisville Motor Speedway. Gary Hollaway, who had held the point lead nearly all summer long till just about a month and a half ago, is right there at second place in the point standings. Again, I would say less than 20 points behind. And then you have Camp Taylor, Kentucky's Gary Martin, just a few points behind Holloway. You know, the top 3 guys in that division could come out season champion in that division, but you'll only find out if you come here to Louisville Motor Speedway Saturday night for season championship night.
It'll be all-out war tomorrow and Saturday to decide these titles. And friends, remember, double points. It'll be a war, and you want to be here for it. Also, remember, tomorrow night, Ken Towery Fan Appreciation Night. Lots of great prizes. Our friends at Roadrunner Video Club with the Saturday season championship. And the highlights are next Thursday, 9:30, right here on Channel 21. Till then, I'm Scott Douglas.
And I'm Frank Scott, inviting you to tune in each and every Thursday evening right here on WBNA Channel 21 for the fastest half hour in Kentuckiana as Louisville Motor Speedway presents Let's Go Racing. Now, you have a good night.